Buongiorno a tutti, salam alaikum, bonjour à tout le monde.
Good morning, everyone. Salam alaikum, bonjour à tous. My name is Matteo Bordone, and I would like to welcome to our last stop of our roadshow, and we're visiting Algeria today, and we've gone a long way. We started out with a print for all conference in June, and then we developed a series of events, and this is the fourth and last event. We visited the UK, Turkey, Egypt, and today it's the turn of Algeria. And we shared views, opinions, and opportunities. And we've done that in preparation of the Prince for All Conference 2021. And we delved into two common topics, that is to say 4.0 industry and sustainability concepts. On behalf of Achimga, welcome everyone. And let's get started straight away by thanking the support from Italian and foreign institutions. And their collaboration has been so valuable throughout this journey, both from the commercial and marketing standpoint and also in terms of backing and support throughout the industry. Over the course of this roadshow, we involve different stakeholders, guests, institutional representatives, brand owners, industry representatives in partnership with foreign and Italian institutions. I would like to give the floor to Mr. Barone, President at the Foreign Trade Institute in Algiers. Good morning, everyone. I would like to thank you all on behalf of the ICE, and I would like to thank ITA and all the attendees. I'm very pleased to open up this last stop of the journey that is evidence of the close-knit collaboration between ICE and Achimga. This is the fourth webinar that is targeting the interests of Italian and foreign manufacturers operating in the graphic converting and paper industry. This is a roadshow that is featured as part of the annual activity plan coordinated by the Ministry for Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation. The Algerian market is an interesting market, and in 2019 the trade exceeded $9 billion. And the Algerian economy is very diversified and speaks Italian as well, because it is well equipped with machineries coming from Italy. Before the crackdown as a result of the medical contingency, the most recent event we participated in together with Achimga, and I would like to thank Mr. Briganti, who will take the floor later on, was the Print Pack Fair and trade show that was organized in Algiers with a very good turnout. Today's event is being broadcast through a digital platform, and it characterizes itself as a natural follow-up to industry events as well as trade fairs in order to share cross-cutting topics that are very impactful on both sides of the Mediterranean. I'm thinking about the topic of sustainability, for that matter, which will become even more important moving forward, and Italy will have a say in the international arena, also in view of industrial liaising with Algeria. That is characterized by a rich industrial diversity. So without further ado, I would like to thank you all again, and please get in touch with us by email, algeri@ice.it. And I know that we have a lot of representatives today, members of Achimga and also Italian companies working in the Algerian market. And we're going to have two fruitful panels today. So I would like to introduce His Excellency Mr. Giovanni Pugliese, Italian ambassador in Algeria. Good morning, Ambassador, and thanks very much for being with us today. Good morning, everyone. Bonjour à tous. I'm going to speak Italian. I would like to thank ICE, the Foreign Trade Institute, Mr. Barone, and Acimga for this webinar. So thanks very much for showing up today, and I would like to greet all the Italian and Algerian participants. I took office as an ambassador in Algiers a few weeks back, and I have to say that the area of economic diplomacy is very topical nowadays. The Algerian market is very important by tradition, and this was already stated by the ICE chair. And I'm also sure that in the forthcoming months and years, there will be fruitful opportunities for both economies. The Italian economy's exports account for over 30% of the GDP. Foreign markets will be the springboard for the recovery we are all expecting for in 2021. That is why it is paramount to work as a team comprised of institutions and industry representatives. We were visited by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Minister Di Maio, a few weeks back. The second visit of the Italian minister, and this is evidence of the fact that the Italian government is looking at Algeria with a lot of interest. The mission was characterized by a significant economic liaising moment. He met up with the Ministry of Industrial Affairs for cooperation issues, and also he met with the Italian community of entrepreneurs. We also visited a building site that is led by some Italian representatives. So this is the right moment to emphasize the important presence of Italy in Algeria, and it's also high time for us to consider the Italian presence across multiple scenarios and marketplaces in order to support economic diversification in Algeria. Italian industries are well known all over the world for fashion, design, etc. However, we have to recall that Italy is excellent when it comes to mechanics, and our businesses are excellent in terms of flair and zest, but also for the technological know-how. Product quality will be hallmarked more and more by innovation and sustainability, as Mr. Barone stated. And these topics are very, very cherished in Algeria. Innovation will be a cross-cutting topics for the business forum that we would like to organize in the first month of 2021 by the end of March, and if the pandemic will enable us to do so, but we like to be optimistic. And this event is sought after by both Italian and Algerian authorities. And we would like to address multiple industries that can be supported by mutual partnership agreements. Innovation goes hand in hand with sustainability. New technologies enable us to improve production processes as well as our output in terms of environmental footprint. Environmental topics, in fact, are core elements for the G20 Italian presidential round, which we took on December 1st. And we identify the following priorities: people, planet, and prosperity, the three Ps. We want to diversify our collaboration with Algeria, not only in terms of types of industries, but also in terms of types of enterprises involved. We are really leveraging on the possibility of fostering collaboration with small and medium enterprises as well. Multinational corporations, by tradition, have always had a strong position in the market, but we think that SMEs can represent a very important leverage. I thank you very much for your attention, and thank you very much to all of you. Well, thanks very much, Ambassador, and thanks very much for this thorough overview regarding the relationship between Italy and Algeria in the domain of economics and trade. Well, I would like to leave the floor to Monsieur Adel Benzassi, President of the National Advisory Board for SMEs Promotion, and he's also General Director of the mechanics industry. Monsieur, à vous la parole.
Merci beaucoup, merci à vous, merci Excellence. Bonjour à tous.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Your Excellency. I will speak French. I want to thank you for your warm welcome. As you know, for us in Algeria, Italy is a reliable, strong partner who has always been with us, together with Algeria from the very first fight. And so I'm glad to be part of this council for promotion and development of SMEs. As a business leader, I'm also in the business of precision machineries and subcontracting area. Of course, Italy is a very important economic and technological partner for Algeria. In my capacity as President of the National Council for the Promotion of SMEs, I want to accompany our Italian partners in order to strengthen our partnership, especially through SMEs, because in Italy there's a very strong fabric of SMEs, the wealth of our country, and therefore we want to enhance the diversification of our economy, and we want to do that in partnership with Italian companies. So later on, I will talk in more details about this. Thank you. Thank you so much. Now I give the floor to the Vice President of the Algerian Chamber of Commerce in Algeria.
Donc, bonjour tout le monde. Donc, merci pour cette organisation.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for organizing perfectly this event. As Mr. Benzassi said, Italy is indeed an excellent partner for Algeria. We went through a very dark period, and Italy was beside us in the very first years, and we have cooperated with Italy very closely, and Italy is still a very important partner for us, and we have so many things to do together in the future. Shall I speak about the topics I planned, or shall I do it later? As for innovation in industry, shall I talk about that later? So, I was asked to speak about innovation in Algerian industries. So, sustainable development. But I won't talk about this in detail because other speakers will talk about that later. But let me say that innovation, sometimes we're afraid, we are concerned about this because we think about scientific innovation. For instance, in chemistry or biology, there are many innovations going on there, and also in the military. But in the industry, when we think about innovation, we think about machinery, product innovations, or communication innovations. As you know, in Algeria, we have always relied on foreign countries, in European countries in particular, and this happened during the past decades, and then Asia and North American countries. We haven't reached full innovation. We are just at the very beginning, because we were not able to develop a partnership between university and SMEs.
Mettre en place des incubateurs qui permettraient
we were not able to set up incubators, allowing companies to get in touch with researchers. So I believe that we have very recently started to integrate innovation in all our programs, meaning that innovation only very recently was included into companies' plans. I don't know if we will have the chance to talk about that later. I will be pleased to answer any questions that you might have later on after listening to the other panelists. So thank you so much.
E allora direi
Very well. So let me thank the institutions, the Foreign Trade Institute in Algeria, and the National Council for the Promotion of SMEs in Algeria, and the Ambassador of Italy in Algeria. It is now time to give the floor to the General Manager of Acimga, Andrea Briganti. You have the floor. Good morning, bonjour. Thank you very much. I want to thank the Foreign Trade Institute and the Italian Foreign Ministry for including in the official program this roadshow. As it was said at the beginning of the webinar, this is the 4th edition of this roadshow in the Mediterranean area, in the EMEA countries.
Frutto anche di una nuova modalità di approccio.
This shows a new way of approaching international promotion by including contents and discussion tables, starting with these events that might lead in the future, might continue in the future, not only in roadshows, in trade shows, but also within conferences, such as the conference that will take place in June 2021, organized by Acimga for discussing specific topics. Let me also thank the Foreign Trade Institute in Algiers and the ambassador in Algiers also contributing to this event, and our Algerian guests. As Matteo was saying, I am the director of Acimga, the Italian Manufacturers Association of Machinery for the converting industry. We represent all technologies involved in printing, so offset, rotogravure, flexo, and digital printing, as well as all converting technologies, applied technologies, punching, coating, paper-based, or lamination, and so on. As for printing technologies, Italy is historically present in the rotograver industry, and maybe less in the flexo one, but in time it has developed an ability to develop a know-how in technologies where it lacks a historical knowledge. Of course, on rotogravure we are leaders in this industry, and Acimga himself has developed some projects linked to the dissemination of a technology know-how on rotogravure, both in Italy and abroad, by organizing seminars and magazine or documents. And we are now in the phase of integrating all the platforms for rotogravure at international level. And last but not least, we have developed a new partnership with an important US rotograver association. The rationale for Acimga behind this concept and before presenting it to the Italian Foreign Ministry and to the industry is the following. Today, companies need to present themselves as proactive companies within a strategic path on the three topics of the market. As we said at the very beginning, sustainability and digitization, two key areas on which the whole printing supply chain is considering, because they do not involve single industries, but the whole ecosystem. In 2021, we will also add new topics, new paradigms, which are going to play key roles for companies, because business models will be more and more oriented on a system whereby the machinery or the service will become a touch point for other services and joint developments. This is going to play an important role at international level. This is the reason why we are also covering these topics in the printing and the paper industry. And I'm referring, of course, to the servitization element. This is the only example of vertical integration that we have, enabling the development of single channels in Italy at the level of the Confederation of Industries in Italy. And indeed, Acimga also was awarded some years ago for this. And right now, Acimga is also leader of the paper and printing industry. And so this roadshow is a strategic stop for the Italian supply chains. And indeed, for 2021, the aim is to have Italian and international printers around the table, as in this case, today's case, Algerian printers, and international representatives, because sustainability, digitization and servitization are going to play a key role for all industries. Single companies will have to be integrated along the supply chains and the networks. And I'm sure that this COVID crisis will speed up the whole process as compared to the pre-COVID time. So this is the reason why it is so important that we have this roadshow today. I will then round up the meeting later on and for a final greeting. And I'm very pleased that we're all here to grow together and to make this printing industry grow together. Thank you.
Well, thanks very much to Andrea Briganti, General Manager at Acimga. And Let us start with the first panel discussion with some Italian representatives. The first one coming up is Ferrari and Benelli. They are a leading company in Italy thanks to the development of corona treatment and plasma treatment solutions. It was set up in 1965 and it is headquartered in Lombardy. They boast 55 years of experience in the design and production of corona system and for developing innovative solutions across all applications for the converting and extrusion industry. Today with us we have Ms. Claudia Benelli, General Manager at Ferrari Benelli. Thanks very much, Claudia. Good morning. Bonjour à tous. And thanks very much for listening. We're very pleased to introduce to you our products and the corona treatment. Since there is interpretation available, I would like to speak Italian. But you can contact me in French if you like for other comments or questions. Right, so let's remind all the attendees that we have simultaneous interpretation going on in English, Italian and French, so we can juggle with 3 languages at the same time. Wonderful, so let's start talking about the treatments developed by Ferrari Benelli. And please, Claudia, tell us, what is a corona treatment and why is it so important?
Trattamento superficiale.
The corona treatment is a surface treatment that is carried out on the surface of plastic surfaces, plastic materials, to increase a surface tension and thus improve the anchoring of the inks and adhesives in flexographic and rotogravure printing processes, as well as in the lamination processes. It is very important to treat these materials because the polymer films have a low surface tension, which doesn't allow for a good anchorage of inks, glues, adhesives, and other substrates. Each ink or adhesive has its own active tension and requires a substrate with a higher surface tension in order to remain properly lodged. In addition to that, we also have to consider that each plastic film has its own surface tension, which can be increased with a corona treatment, and each process requires a different surface tension of the treated film in order to optimize results. The ultimate goal of the corona treatment is to reach these levels of surface tension that are measured in dynes per centimeter. Can the corona treatment help us make more sustainable choices? Well, all materials are treated with the corona treatment during extrusion processes until they have an adequate surface tension value to guarantee a good printing or coupling processes. Unfortunately, though, due to the passing by of time, there is a reduction between the extrusion process and the transformation process of the plastic film, during which the additives contained in the film migrate to the surface. So a decay of the surface tension value can be identified right at this stage. The risk is therefore to get to the time of printing or coupling with an inadequate surface tension value and with a consequent risk of a suboptimal printing or suboptimal processes, and therefore obtaining a product that in the end is to be rejected. To avoid these problems, we can conduct a corona treatment refresh procedure directly on the printing or laminating line. So surface tension is then restored and the process is optimized and waste is avoided. In order to pursue sustainability goals, so we decided to use solvent-free or water-based inks, and several adhesive solutions have been developed. The transition from the use of solvent-based adhesives to solvent-free adhesives was also carried out in order to reduce energy consumption and reduce emissions. But these types of inks and adhesives have greater difficulty in remaining anchored to a plastic surface because they have a higher active tension. So corona treatment can help in this regard and can foster use of greener, if you will, inks, because if correctly sized, it can increase the surface tension in order to obtain excellent results, even when these greener inks and adhesives are used. Since we're talking about environmental sustainability, Claudia, what other paths have you undertaken, have you pursued? Well, if we want to talk about the topic of sustainability, I think that we need to address quality of air. The quality of the air we breathe is very important. For this reason, we have been developing ozone destruction systems for corona systems for about 20 years. We shall remind ourselves that when the corona discharge is generated in the so-called air gap, that is to say the electrode film distance to be treated, in addition to the ionization of the air and the consequent activation of the film surface, there is ozone release. And we know that ozone is a pollutant. As a matter of fact, oxygen molecules are divided into two oxygen atoms, and these atoms are unstable and bond with other oxygen molecules. Ozone is hazardous for human health, so it needs to be eliminated from work environments. And in fact, every corona system is equipped with a suction and fan device. But what happens when the ozone produced is released into the atmosphere? Well, ozone is a polluting molecule which doesn't dissolve in the air, but which increases the levels of photochemical smog and thus damaging human health and vegetation. For this reason, Ferrari and Benelli developed a system called Ozone System, which is an ozone abatement system. It's a catalytic system that transforms ozone into oxygen, and this contributes obviously to the environmental footprint. And typically the system is positioned between the treatment unit and the fan. The abatement process takes place at room temperatures as the catalyst doesn't need energy to carry out the reaction. Right. Let's actually get into the nitty-gritty, if you will, and let's see what are the key parameters involved in the corona treatment process. A corona treatment system consists of a power generator, a step-up transformer, and a treatment station with a fan for ozone extraction purposes. The corona discharge is delivered by the electrodes that are positioned in the treatment station, and it activates the plastic film surface in order to increase surface tension, which is again measured in dynes per centimeter. The ultimate goal of any corona treatment system is to increase the surface tension of the film and to increase the wettability and adhesion of the surface. And corona treatment systems achieve this by applying a certain power for a certain period of time on the surface. This power over time parameter is measured in watt density, defined as watts per minute. And the parameters of the corona treatment are as follows: a power density, output power, material width, line speed, and number of sites to be treated. So power density is directly proportional to the power delivered in watts and inversely proportional to the measurement of the treatment station expressed in meters. This means that in order to maintain a certain power density, if the width of the film doubles, the amount of watts of power must be doubled as well. And the higher the operating speed, the greater the power required to reach a certain level of surface treatment. The speed has a significant impact on the sizing of the corona system, both in terms of electrodes and in terms of power delivered. So I guess that all these parameters are to be monitored in order to optimize processes and functionalities. So thinking digital. So if we think about digitization and Industry 4.0 topics, how can we monitor these parameters? In an attempt to optimize the corona process, it is essential to be able to monitor and to optimize these parameters. And for this reason, the corona generator is equipped with the following features: power adjustment in relation to discharge electrode width, automatic speed adjustment in relation to speed, power density monitoring, and it is also very important to keep an eye on control diagnostics for correct operation of the corona treatment process and also for safety purposes, let me say. With this in mind, and in an attempt to integrate the corona treatment control panels with the production lines, it is important to be able to monitor the system in a remote fashion, and this fully fulfills the 4.0 goal, because these parameters can be remotely viewed from the line PLC, and we use different communication systems that are currently available, such as Profinet, Profibus, Ethercat, and others. The Profinet system, for example, has the advantage of bringing controls and displays of the corona generator to the customer's line via a single cable. So the system is very versatile, and the customer will choose which parameters to monitor remotely. And looking at the future, what are the forthcoming trends? Well, looking ahead, we are pursuing the following trends and patterns. We want to be able to offer our clients real-time monitoring of data through different media, such as a tablet, a laptop, or a smartphone. We would also like to be able to generate reports that certify process quality, and this could be done thanks to cloud connectivity of the different corona systems in order to conduct monitoring and diagnostic activities in a seamless fashion. So thank you very much for having me today, and thanks very much for your attention. And I'm at your complete disposal for further information. Well, thanks very much to Claudia Benelli, General Manager at Ferrari Benelli.
Che è Prades, è un'azienda italiana che da...
Now we have Prades. Prades is an Italian company operating since 1983 in the converting and distribution of double adhesive tapes. It has two operating headquarters in Padua and in Budapest, acquired in 2019. They have 26 employees. This year, Prades started to produce its own brand products with the Platefix brand. Prades is involved in environmental sustainability every day. This is one of the key topics by searching for new materials for packaging, and it has invested 500,000 euro for the purchase of new machinery by embracing fully digitalization in the 4.0 industry. We have the pleasure to have Giorgia Magario and Marco Magario today. Giorgia Magario is business developer for Prades. Welcome. Well, bonjour, and thank you, Matteo, for your presentation. Good morning to everyone who is joining from Algeria. I will now continue my presentation in French. If you wish, you can get in touch with me also in French. I will provide my contact details for further information. So we'll start sharing the screen for my presentation. As Matteo said in the introduction, we are a family-owned company. Our name is Prades. We are a small and medium enterprise. Let's define it in this way. We were set up in 1983, and since then we have grown. We have started to distribute our own products for the flexographic industry. We have become the leading distributor in Italy. Not only in Italy, we have started to distribute double adhesive tapes specific for flexographic printing. During time, we aimed at growing, and today we have 26 people staff. We acquired a company in Budapest. That was a real achievement for us. So growth was a big aim for our company. We have also developed partnership with 3M, opening the doors for us not only in Italy but also abroad. We have been a partner of 3M since 2008 for gold converter and for the distribution of cushion mount products. I'm sure you're familiar with this brand. The 3M brand is rather well known around the world. We distribute the cushion mount products in all densities and adhesive capacities available both in Italy and abroad. And we also plan to distribute our products in Northern Africa as well as in other parts of the world. Thanks to our experience developed with 3M, since this year we started to produce our own proprietary brand for flexographic printing, and this is something that we have started this year to produce this year. So this is a completely new challenge for us, since this is our own brand product. We always have it in stock, and we can deliver it very quickly. Now, thanks to this product, we can reach top quality at a very competitive price on the market. Thanks to this product, we are also committed to sustainability, because packaging is 100% green. We look for green materials for packaging. For instance, also the adhesive tape for sealing cardboard boxes and recyclable Plate-Affix and the bags for packaging the reels, the adhesive tape. So this is very important for us, as well as growing awareness among our customers in terms of sustainability. So we have a separate collection in our offices and also in our production plants. This is something key for us. We're also committed to reducing plastics in our offices. So we only use recyclable materials. There are also several projects in place. For instance, we plan to donate a part of our turnover to environmental initiatives, such as planting trees around the world. We also want to get involved with Italian companies, our Italian food providers, suppliers, looking for companies who work only with sustainable materials, and we also aim at turning our car fleet into electric cars. So I now give the floor to my colleague, my brother Marco, explaining what we have achieved in terms of 4.0 industry, which again is very important for our development because it involves a number of processes enabling us to produce much more quickly. So, okay, I give the floor to my brother.
Marco, puoi andare.
Buongiorno, mi sentite?
Good morning, everyone. Can you hear me okay? Yes, we can. All right, then. I'm going to share my screen straight away. And we are good to go, hopefully. Can you give me a thumb up if you can see it? Yes, we can. All right. Thumbs up. Great. Salam alaikum. Bonjour à tous. Well, thanks very much, Georgia, for introducing me. I would like to start out with my part of the presentation devoted to 4.0 industry. I'd like to talk about my childhood. I've always been fond of technology, and growing up, I developed an interest in robotics. At university, I studied cognitive neurosciences, and I had the opportunity of attending several training courses and hence acquire knowledge about machine learning, artificial intelligence, and interaction between machine and man. I joined the company 4 years ago, and I started working as a foreman. And I was working on the production line. So I got to know the different machines, the different production cycles, as well as the different reports resulting from them. I realized straight away that we needed an innovative process in this area. Shortly after I joined the company, we decided to embark on this industry, in this adventure, and as a result of the government measures issued for Industry 4.0 projects. Given my interest and in light of my background, we started investing immediately. We bought 3 machines, an automatic lathe, branded Chevenini, a Flexa laminating machine, and a punching machine by Guidolin. These 3 converting machines were fully integrated with our intranet, and we also developed an MES which is fully operational and customized and that keeps track of production cycles. This was indeed an ambitious project, but it hasn't ended yet because I feel that there is still a long way to go. I'm saying this because I visited most of our customers over the course of the past 4 years, and I realized that companies are still pursuing partially automated and partially intuitive production processes. And so I ask myself, what could we do in order to improve our business and others? In light of that, I thought that having a model that can be replicated would be excellent. In other words, what we're doing at Prades today, we should do at Flankerk, which is our Hungarian subsidiary. And considering the fact that we want to expand on a global scale, I would like to create a model that can be copied and pasted of production cycles, software solutions, as well as hardware systems, so that these technologies are fully automated and can result in cost containment strategies, improve throughput, and ensure a more ergonomic work environment. In order to do that, would like to implement 5 additional machines, and these are brand new machines, but they are a version, a prior version compared to that of 4.0 industry. And we realize that it can be implemented and fitted in our production line. And this will enable us to complete production automation. We will implement the MES using an artificial intelligence-based software app that makes it possible to fully digitize production cycles and data. As a result of that, we will optimize our warehouse stocks by reducing supplies and also costs. We will interconnect all these modes of operation with our CRM. We will collect data from production, from sales, and from purchasing. And by doing that, we will be able to deliver more efficient data analysis that will ultimately improve our production efficiency and customer servicing.
dei nostri
These resources will be put at the disposal of our clients. We understand that this is a huge investment for our company. We would like our business to improve, and we would like the model to be translated into other companies. But we want to offer this to all of our customers as well. How do we intend to do that? Well, we are already creating a specially designated client area in our corporate website. Customers will be able to access that section and submit orders straight away. It will be possible to display the most recent or the latest orders, to make swift orders, to display the order track record through the very same feature. And it will be able to track the order itself, not only in terms of shipping and delivery, but also in terms of production. In other words, clients will be able to display when his order was processed, to keep track of some sort of a progress bar and delivery times. And we believe that this is essential for clients to have a real-time control and monitoring option on their orders. We trust that this is a very important initiative, and I think it's perhaps the most interesting solution for young generations like mine. We are very tech savvy, we want to grow, we want to thrive, and we're looking into expanding our business. I'm very interested in improving internal systems when it comes to controlling features, but I'm also interested in expanding to other markets, such as the Algerian one. So I do hope that we will be able to collaborate with our Algerian counterparts in order to develop this market even more. We think that this market is extremely interesting and stimulating, also in light of the top-notch quality of the manufacturers in terms of printing and reliability. So I would like to thank Achinga for having us today. I would like to thank ICE and all the attendees. Salam alaikum, bonjour, and au revoir. And I would like to give the floor to Matteo Bordone. Well, thanks very much to Georgia and Marco Magario, brother and sister. And now let's go to visit Omed. Omed was set up in 1963 and it boasts 50 years experience, 500 employees all over the world, 8 production plants and 4 subsidiaries in China, US, India and Spain. Total turnover is of 130 million euros. With us today is Andrea Angeli, Export Sales Manager. Good morning, Andrea.
Buongiorno.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for inviting me, for giving the opportunity to Omid and myself to join this very interesting event. I would like to speak French to make it easier for our Algerian guests to follow my presentation. I will be using a few slides that we have prepared for events of this kind of event, talking about green solutions and policies adopted by our company and the innovations we have in place already and the innovations that we are planning for the future. So I'm now going to share a document so that everything is going to be very clear. I see it on the screen very well.
Vediamo un attimo.
Apologize, just a few seconds. Very well. Good morning, everyone. So this is a slide that I'm going to refer to explain and to present OMET, explaining our present and future approach in an ever-changing world. This world is facing important challenges such as COVID-19, such as climate change. OMET wants to look at the future, starting from today's complex situation. Now, just a few words about my company. As Matteo was saying, we are a multinational company. We have operating plants around the world. Shortly, we will turn 60. We produce printing and converting machinery. And we are active in many different technology fields. In terms of technical solutions, our approach is innovating with passion. So we are very sensitive to this approach. We take up all the challenges offered by our customers. We are not only devoted to very complicated technical machinery layouts. In time, we proved that we can realize very complex projects that the market asks for with very demanding technical requirements. Of course, our presence is very strong in Italy, but we are present also around the world with important numbers, including Africa and Algeria. This is a very important market for us. The first machinery that was installed in 2003, and today there are around 30 of them on the market.
COVID.
This difficult time during the COVID pandemic, we have installed 3 machines in Algeria in this horrible 2020. I am in charge of I'm the area manager for the Gulf area, the Middle East and Northern Africa, and very often I visit Algeria. We have set up a local branch working very well with us this year. On this trajectory, namely to deal with customers, installing new machines and guaranteeing an excellent maintenance service in such a complex time. As I was saying, we are very pleased to take up the most complicated and demanding challenges by our customers. During time, we have developed partnerships with the largest corporations around the world. You can see their names on the screen. Huhtamäki, for instance, Constantia, or for Labors, CCL, and the others. We work with suppliers and customers who are also present at today's event, such as Ferrari Benelli. With these partners, we have developed a two-way partnership. They need us, but we need our partners too, because their comments, their suggestions are so useful for us to improve ourselves from a technological point of view, but also in terms of relationships, because it is only by working with these partners that we're able to do what we do on a daily basis. Very well. I would say a few words about the green side of printing that recently OME decided to embrace. Today's world demands for changes and developments in terms of production techniques, methods, and philosophy. So we need to improve our processes. This is something that it is demanded to everyone. We cannot forget that in the packaging industry, the packaging are fundamental, extremely important, but we need to deal with a lot of waste, labels and everything else. There is something, at all times, waste is made. So what we need to do is to dispose of this waste in the most natural way, and we need to reduce energy consumption. We need to use the most sustainable materials available. For instance, at OMIT, we are using water-based inks, because in this way you can get rid of solvents, and we have tried to provide our customers with drying systems based on hot air, both for water-based and solvent-based inks, in order to improve water-based performances water-based inks performances so that they can be more sustainable, but also to speed up production times because we know that solvent-based inks guarantee a quicker process. And we were able to do that also by recycling hot air, thanks to an analysis we performed with ink producers, and by adopting the same solutions, therefore guaranteeing the top performance for water-based inks. I'd like to remind you that for the very first time in history, at the Brussels Trade Fair, during all the demonstrations, we used the rotogravure Unity with water-based inks. And that was an incredible experience. Because talking about this is important, of course, but we proved that with a public demonstration with excellent outcomes. Another important thing for OMID history and policy is that we want to reduce, reuse, and recycle. We want to reduce the amount of waste. Our machinery, they are based on the same rationale. They are designed in a way that they can reduce the amount of waste that they produce by guaranteeing at the same time optimal printing quality with the least amount of waste. Then reuse, as I said, we can reuse hot air in order to improve the performance of the drying system. And we also reduce the amount of electricity used. Our new engine installed in our machinery works on a system whereby during deceleration it accumulates, stores electricity. You can compare this with the F1 system. It works more or less in the same way. Part of the energy stored is then used for starting and accelerating the engine. Now, the third R is recycle. As I said, in terms of air, the least minimum possible amount of ink is used. It is from the roll, and so you can be sure to use the smallest amount of ink possible during the printing process. And then in terms of technical solutions, in terms of energy, this is also important because you reduce the amount of energy used, about 20% less energy. 20%. Now, the green side of printing. We at OMID, we dry, the drying phase is done through UV lamps. We started to talk about LED process quite early when it was this technology was just starting. The world wasn't ready yet because LED systems were not available and inks were not adequate. Whereas today they are very widespread and they provide several benefits for printers using LED, therefore reducing energy consumption. The maintenance system is also easier because you can replace a single component, a single diode, if you need to. For instance, if an electrode is broken, you can replace a small lamp instead of replacing the whole system, and of course you save money, and this provides benefits for the environment by reducing the amount of electrical waste, electrical appliances waste. And then the switch-on times are very short. Now, all this is not possible, of course, with traditional lamps. OMET reduces the setup times of machinery and reduces waste during processing in several ways. All this is possible because thanks to several factors. Very often it is the operator himself or herself making the difference. And since 2007, OMET has created a system, a regulation system, fully automated one. Therefore, the customer can instruct the operator, but it is the machinery in cooperation with the operator, of course, doing the guaranteeing the system. So the setup, as I said, is automatically performed, and so this decouples the performance of the machine from the operator intervention. I would like to say a few words now about something that OMET has started and is very ambitious about. We plan to reduce to zero liners for producing adhesive tapes. Therefore, we started a partnership with the Spielgers and Trammers and with Ferrari too, for a project called Linerless. We produce self-adhesive tapes, labels with no liner. Liners are the traditional backing paper for the label itself, because thanks to lamination, the transparent liner is turned into a lamination film protecting the label itself in a way that the customer there is no liner as waste, and the whole cycle is improved in terms of volumes for transporting the reels on the trucks and so on, and also reducing costs for transporting both transporting the reels and reducing waste. The thickness of the material is also reduced by 50%, around 50%. So that was it. Very brief introduction of our company. Of course, if you have any further questions or comments, remarks, we'll be pleased to answer. You can send your questions or comments to the contact persons highlighted on the last slide. Let me conclude by saying something that the previous panelists talked about. About the last exhibition about the print pack Algiers. It was the beginning of March. It was the last trade show that OMET joined in presence, and it was on that occasion we participated thanks to the local agency, and it was a big success. And we are very optimistic about the next edition of this Printpack trade show, because it is going to be a key appointment for all the operators, all the stakeholders in this industry, which needs very much to grow and to transform and to take up the challenges of today. I thank you for your attention. And again, if you have any further questions or remarks, please feel free to send them, to contact me after this event. Thank you very much.
Grazie mille, grazie mille.
Thank you very much. Export Sales Manager at Omet, Mr. Andrea Angeli. Now, I would like to give the floor to Apr Solution Limited. It was set up in 2015, headquartered in Rondissone, nearby Turin, northwest of Italy. They specialize in the production of folding and gluing machines, double-phase tape insertion machines, and envelopes, e-commerce envelopes, packaging, and punching machines, and gold foil stamping. With us, we have Ms. Doriana Dorobato. She's ready to take it away. Doriana? Good morning. Please. Good morning, everyone. Let me say that we're very pleased to participate to this event, and we would like to thank Acimga for their kind invitation. I would like to introduce the way Apr Solutions are committed to the pursuance of innovation towards the fourth revolution, that is to say, Industry 4.0. Apr Solutions is a company focused on the manufacturing of packaging machines. So Apr delivers machines designed to meet the needs of industry with solutions that allow packaging manufacturers and brand owners to meet their challenges. And we specialized in folding, gluing machine, double-phase tape insertion and application. We obviously work in the packaging industry, and we also work in the domain of tape insertion magazines, and our processes are fully automated. We decided to integrate innovative technologies in our production lines, especially for all the providers working in the 4.0 industry sector. With that in mind, we developed our machines in order to pursue smart production and smart services, so that our clients can get swift access to production information, production data at any point in time. I would like to introduce our 4.0 technology. So we have a terminal that makes it possible for clients to get access to all sorts of data on the move. So thanks to this software, clients can keep track of production processes, and it is very useful to keep track of production throughputs, and it also delivers important information that can be used to improve production processes. And this service makes it possible to deliver remote servicing that can be carried out on the machine itself. This enables the technical staff to cut down troubleshooting time. So whenever physical presence is required on site, we can provide a remote connection to our engineers that can intercept a broad range of technical problems. And when remote servicing isn't enough, we also have a remote service that can be provided through visors like this one, so that our technical team can actually see what the end user is seeing. It's some sort of an augmented reality service that makes it possible to communicate with the end user and what the end user is seeing in real time. This technology enables us to cut down troubleshooting time so that we don't have to halt the operation of certain sets of machineries, and we can also reduce downtimes. Another important aspect we decided to integrate in our company is the online purchase of spare parts. We decided to make this decision in order to shorten the time needed to process spare part orders. And we also wanted to be very swift in getting back to clients and their requests. Shortening delivery times when it comes to spare parts is essential, especially if a specific piece of machinery is idle. We have an online catalog listing out different spare parts, and this eliminates the first step of the traditional process, if you will. So suffice it to enter the offer, ask for a quote, confirm the quote, and just get done with it. And all of that is just one click away. There is a full description of the product that is uploaded online, and all the orders submitted online are double checked in order to make sure that they are compliant with a piece of machinery owned by the client. We thought that this was a smart solution that could be provided to our customers also as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic, since we had to significantly reduce our face-to-face activities. The platform was such a blessing because it helped us process orders much faster and with greater ease. Moreover, we realized that there was growing demand for customized products out there. So we decided to become more flexible and to implement two solutions in our production system, manufacturing system. Apologies. Solution number one is customization through a combination of predefined options and the possibility of developing the machine after purchase. In other words, it is possible to start with a smaller version, a stripped down version, in order to have a more complex and personalized setup later on. The second solution we offered is a completely tailored project on clients' requirements and needs. And this is a solution that is quite uncommon amongst other machinery providers, but we think is essential today. We're also planning on continuing in this journey in order to integrate technological solution more and more into our products and into our solutions so that the technology can be more adequate for this constant evolution. So thank you very much. I would like to give the floor to our moderator.
E allora ci spostiamo verso un altro.
Very well. We now have CIMEC. CIMEC has two plants in Ongiatolona near to Milan and the other one in Montefino in the Teramo province on the eastern coast of Italy. It has been operating since 1960 And so a long experience, 18 billion turnover and 12 million rolls produced every year. CIMIC was highlighted by the coordinators as best in class of the coordinators of the industry. And so it has a lot to say about a 4.0 industry. We have Sara Besnati from CIMIC today with us. Good morning. Thank you, Matteo, and welcome to all the participants to this last stop of the Future Factory Roadshow. It is a pleasure for me today and an honor. We're happy to give our contribution in terms of 4.0 industry, talking about digitalization and big data management, new approaches to market, integrated supply chains, and new forms of communication. In one single word, SDB, standing for CIMIC Digital Background. Together with our digital team, we decided to participate to these events in a non-conventional way. In a way, we developed a video content talking about how we are heading to the future, towards the future by safeguarding the environment. Our cooperator will talk about how the people, CIMIC people, work every day also to ensure sustainability. Thank you very much and enjoy this video. CIMIC Group il gruppo CIMIC è stato il gruppo CIMIC è
designed to maintain them in the best way possible and to make their life cycle longer. At one point we asked ourselves, how can we transfer values, experiences and expertise to our stakeholders that are looking for innovative and smarter solutions? The answer was digitalization. We were sure this was the key. By digitalizing ourselves, we put in place a new way of doing business, our new way of doing business, SDB. SDB stands for CIMIC Digital Background. It is a system that involves every department of our company and that required organizational changes like factories re-engineering with lean techniques and their digitalization, as well as the automation of production processes and their coding. Over time, we have built an ERP in which we collect big data. This enables us to define an accurate identikit of customers around the world. Thus, we are closer to them and we are able to anticipate their needs and requirements. But let's go deeper inside.
When we speak of SDB, we talk about data, how to collect them, how to manage them, and how to combine them in order to get forecasts on customers' needs and to arrange production accordingly. But we also need to talk about digitalization of our premises, automation of our plants, and coding of the whole production universe, from machinery to engraving tools, engraving techniques, up to cylinders, through all steps of production cycles. But we also have to talk about traceability, because CIMIC is able to trace back the whole analog history, analyzing all steps. Therefore, you will hear my colleagues speak about data management, product customization, and performance analysis. These are the three pillars of CIMIC Digital Background that, combined all together, have allowed CIMIC to move from a more traditional and conventional reactive management of orders based on single orders of single customers to predictive management based on aggregate needs. This new logic allows us to predict and therefore to create some permanent stocks where cylinders are kept in stock ready for delivery. But to be of any real value, this should not remain pure theoretical speculation, but should rather translate into benefits. Benefits for whom? For our customers, of course. Benefits, for example, the reduction of risks in analog selection, or guarantee of repeatability of analogs, always to get a constant quality of the printed matter, or fast deliveries thanks to our predictive warehouse, or still the possibility for our customers to access directly CIMIC database to get all the statistics concerning their analogs and compare them with aggregate statistics of the same branch. So, if I was able to boost your curiosity, well, I'm happy to invite you to our SDB.
To manage data, we create a map for the customer's universe, and we collect information about their structures, their machines, how and how much they use them, and the product they introduce on the market. By doing so, we are able to create an accurate profile for every customer and to identify their specific needs. In this way, we are able to produce rollers which perfectly reflect their needs, talking about qualitative, quantitative, and also time necessities. The rollers we produce are then built around their machines and facilities, and according to what they will be applied for, they are also tested and codified, and for this reason they will always be available right when needed. By doing so, we also reduce drastically the usual risks connected to the analog selection, their relative costs, and also the waiting times. How do we customize an analogs? To do so, we gather information about the industrial sector and the machines it will be working on. We mean that we study how to construct the roller, how to protect it from corrosion, the features of the ceramic layer, the finishing according to the doctoring system, and also the engraving technology. By doing so, we have then a reduction of both scoring line and ghosting, a reduction of the corrosion risk, a density which is constant during the years, and also a lower need of the cleaning the roller, and at the same time we also lengthen the duration of this roller at work. But how do we manage to guarantee the repeatability of these specifics? We have codified all the processes, and for this reason we are able to reproduce them exactly how we did the first time. Every analogs has an digital identity, and thanks to this one we are able to keep track of every significant event, from the construction to every refurbishment and then to the end of its working life cycle. So how did these analogs perform? Which was the time in between one refurbishment and the next one? Are we aligned with the aggregated sector analyses and timelines? In this case are directly the factories which collect the data about the process of the production and also the specifics of the production. And they also transfer the data about the condition of the roller when it's sent to us to make it new again, and so for the refurbishment. And thanks to this information, we are able to offer the customer the same product again and again throughout the years.
How was all this possible? How this system has kept on evolving in such a progressive and constant way? Of course, thanks to the collaboration among different players. Today, the collaborations among the supply chain players are more frequently driven by commercial rather than technical purposes, and apparently the most user leverage to conquer the market is the price. Where is the will to offer a concrete benefit or to solve a specific problem? This is why the SDB community was born, to connect original equipment manufacturers, component suppliers, printers and brand owners, and create a technical partnership aimed at offering the perfect package to the end user, designed according to his needs. So, the aim of the community is to create a value-oriented market by giving to the buyer all the knowledge possible of the entire supply chain, integrated in each product marketed. SDB is not just Industry 4.0, it is also sustainability, especially the environmental sustainability. But can this method lighten our environmental footprint? Let me explain you why the answer is yes. As shown, a proper data management and a value approach to the market, the community approach, allows us to settle the analog specifications based on the end user needs. So we deliver a product that doesn't require any more preliminary tests or ink tests, because from the very first printed matter, it gives optimal results. This is how we actively participate in our customer production consumption, by reducing printing supports, ink wastes, as well as the energy they use. A short supply chain and a total control of each manufacturing phase allow us to select high-quality raw materials, drastically reducing production waste and implementing eco-friendly processes, for example, sealing with 100% natural sealants, and being also able to minimize environmental risks. This approach leads to the offer of high-quality, long-lasting analogs. They also require less maintenance and less frequent refurbishments. Accurate diagnostic and constant monitoring of analogs performance are an important preventive action aimed at maximizing analogs' working life. It's with this goal in mind that we have engineered in-house cleaning machines with patented technology that are effective, eco and human-friendly. They are designed to maintain cylinders at low cost and low environmental impact. The liquid cleaner is also formulated to be reused in several cycles and disposed of without causing damage to the environment. We could also show you our second-hand guaranteed proposal that we think at sharing economy, but time flies and our has come to the end. No worries, we are at your disposal anytime.
Grazie mille a...
Thanks very much to CMEC for this video. And now, let's go to the other shore of the Mediterranean Sea and let us learn about the new trends and patterns of the Algerian market. And let's talk about innovation, digitalization and sustainability. I would like to leave the floor to Amin Mered, President of the Packaging Committee at the Algerian Confederation, CAPC. Good morning.
Son Excellence.
Good morning, everyone. His Excellence, the Italian Ambassador in Algiers, the ICE Chair,
National,
General Director
Monsieur le Directeur Général de l'Association ACHIM,
of the Industrial Association for SME Promotion and ACHIMGA. Dear brothers and sisters, I would like to welcome you all on the occasion of this meeting addressing the Industry 4.0 goals and sustainable development. I would like to thank all the attendees and the organizers who created this useful exchange. My name is Amin Mered and I'm President of the Packaging Committee at the Algerian Confederation of Citizens, CAPC. We work very intensely, and this year we conducted a survey about the packaging market in Algeria. The purpose of this research was to democratize the modes of operation of the packaging industry, and this survey led to the creation of like a sort of a map and generated a snapshot of packaging industries in Algeria. And I would like to focus on this very topic today. The confederation that I chair intends to be a fruitful source of information, a source of reliable insights. We do what we can in order to keep our members up to date regarding any and all evolutions that might have an impact on the packaging industry. For this reason, our confederation in 2020 conducted this survey, this research about the packaging industry in Algeria. This survey is addressing manufacturers and users of packaging solutions. And the purpose of this survey was to create a sketch of the current market scenario. We also engaged with the exporters of packaging materials and packaging solutions in an attempt to better intercept growing markets. This research is part of our development efforts deployed to this market, which is constantly evolving. This research is divided up into different parts, and we intend to identify the key stakeholders, to intercept the main modes of operation and also create a ranking of importers and exporters. And this research is available through www.embalagealgerie.com. Everybody can use this
Platform is
map and this resource in order to locate packaging specialized stakeholders. It's literally a map that delivers useful contacts, and all the businesses wanting to join in and become a part of this platform can do so. They just have to get in touch with the committee itself.
yes.
Let's talk about the quantitative evolution that has taken place during the course of the past 3 years. This evolutionary trend suffer the consequences of the COVID-19 pandemic, but we know we have to be positive and we want to work on new opportunities for the forthcoming year, 2021. We want all economic stakeholders to boast a prosperous new year, and I invite you all to participate to the debate and to submit any recommendations or comments, and I am at your complete disposal. Well, thanks very much to Mr. Amin Mered. Now, I would like to give the floor to another speaker, Mr. Bousbeh Mohamed, General Manager at CIFCO.
Le passo la parola.
Good morning. My name is Bousbeh Mohamed. I am the General Manager of CIFCO. We operate in the packaging industry, in the corrugated cardboard industry. We work a lot with Italy. We've worked a lot with Italy in the past, and we still do, especially for the production of corrugated cardboard. Together with Italian partners, with the Fosberti company, we work with them. They produce machinery, but we also work with the Tenate, for instance, for automatic maintenance. So we earned 10 million euro thanks to working with them, and we hope very much to continue working with them. We are very pleased with their services. Currently, there is a remote service that we use with video cameras. This has been in place for 1.5 years. It's very useful for repairing failures in a remote way, remotely. So this is what I would like I had to say. So thank you so much for listening.
Saluto.
That was a
E adesso ci
short presentation by Bousbeh Mohamed. We now have the export manager, Tiberkin Aboubak. I hope I pronounced your name correctly. Good morning and welcome. No. Thank you. Let me introduce myself. My name is Tiberkin Aboubak. I represent the Leco Emballage company. Leco Emballage was set up in 1976. We have 360 employees. We operate in the corrugated cardboard industry. Our raw materials and our machinery are all imported from Italy. Josberg and other companies. And in 2012, we renovated our car fleet. We bought cars and vehicles for 16 billion euro. We work on spare parts with the same Italian companies. We also collaborate with companies for sourcing our raw materials, different types of paper for producing corrugated cardboard. What else could I say about us?
Nous sommes AFP.
We are about to purchase an ERP to streamline processes within our company. As for 4.0 industry, today
nos amis italiens et leur expérience dans tout
we are very keen to listen to the experiences of our Italian friends. Maybe we will attain 4.0 industry shortly, who knows. As for sustainable development,
de travailler là-dessus, c'est-à-dire faire.
We are working on that. We produce packaging, which is in line with the sustainable development. For instance, we produce containers for fruits and vegetables, which used to be made in plastics, whereas today the market demands corrugated cardboard boxes for fruits and vegetables. So we are working on that. We hope that we will have the opportunity to learn from you, from Italy. Thank you very much.
Di vista di Tiberghent Abubakr.
Well, thank you very much. Thanks very much for the comments from Mr. Tiberghent Abubakr. So, since the industry leverages on the collaboration of different stakeholders and brand owners, we've talked about different aspects that just partially describe the Italian and the Algerian markets. We would like to hear from a brand owner and what they have to say and what's the current state of the art and what's their own perspective with regard to topics such as Industry 4.0, sustainability and servitization. I think we have Mr. Ramsey Boomersbeer with us, Marketing Manager at Palmari.
Lo ringrazio per la partecipazione.
So thank you very much for being with us, and you have the floor.
Bonjour à toutes et à tous. Je tiens à vous remercier déjà pour l'invitation.
Good afternoon, everyone. I would like to thank you for inviting me. I think this is going to be a very interesting meeting for you and for us. I'm in charge of Palmari company. This is one of the most important operator for chocolate products and biscuits in Algeria. We work with finished products and not so much with packaging, but as you said at the beginning, Italy and Italian partners are key players for us. As far as packaging is concerned, we work a lot with Italians because they offer top quality products, speed delivery and excellent raw materials. As in terms of participation to 4.0 industry, this is an extremely important field for us. This is part. We're also committed to sustainable development. We we look very much forward to your technologies in this area, and then we will assess whether they are can be adapted to our present environment. Currently, there are a lot of restrictions due to the COVID-19, so this is a challenging situation. However, we will do our best to be present in the future. We've learned a lot thanks to this event, to the previous panelists, so we can guarantee our presence for the future.
Thank you very much indeed. So we showcased some Italian businesses. We talked about some international partnerships, and we listened from Achimga, and we also heard from our Algerian colleagues working in the industry, and we also heard from brand owners in a very fast and swift way. But we feel that all these contributions have been very fruitful in nurturing potential future liaising, also thanks to Achimga's role. And speaking of Achimga, let me thank all the organizers and all those who have worked to setting up this roadshow in these complicated times. I would like to give the floor to Mr. Briganti for the final remarks, General Manager at Achimga. So thanks very much again, Andrea. You have the floor. Well, thank you. Thank you very much. Let me join forces and let me thank Matteo Bordone for taking us through these interesting presentations and for having moderated this round show. And I really appreciated the strategy and the different viewpoints that we've heard about. And we will cherish that, and we will integrate all the insights we have learned into our way of doing business and our value propositions and way of doing business, actually, in the Italian printing industry. I'm pretty sure we will thrive thanks to the mutual exchanges we've had, especially with regard to markets we believe are strategic for our development. The printing and packaging industry will have to come to grips with the different topics we have addressed in these events. So the paper industry generates trillions of dollars on a global scale, and the impact is quite significant, also in terms of environmental footprint, sorry. So we Italian actors feel accountable for certain types of decisions, for certain strategies that we intend to pursue, and we foster relationship building opportunities that can benefit the entire industry, because there is no such thing as a standalone industry. We are a whole in that we are a complicated ecosystem as an industry who needs to answer to important topics, if you will. So we're going to continue on with these initiatives. We started out with Algeria on the occasion of the Print for All event, which was organized back in 2018. We organized some Best Buys and journalists. We will continue on, and Print for All Conference 2021 will be held in June. And we'll see how the pandemic will unfold. And at this point in time, it's going to be a hybrid event, a digital and a physical format. And we will see again in 2022 on the occasion of the in-person Print4All conference. Hopefully by 2022, we will all be in a sort of a post-COVID era, and we will be hosted by the Innovation Alliance. And this is a trade fair association, and we thought that Acimga could be present in that venue. So we showcased machines for packaging and also for plastic. So Blast Print4All and Ipakima. And these events pursue different strategies, but they all pursue the same goal, that is to say, to give visibility and more visibility to the entire supply chain and industry. So thanks very much. We'll see you again in 2021. Keep up the good work. I wish you all a Merry Christmas, a very good end of the year, and a fruitful beginning for next year. And all the best to you all. Thank you very much. Arrivederci.